Hey, what's up, DFS fans? This is Ryan Kostrowski, owner-operator of the DFS 5-pack. Rocking a solo video today. My business partner is off getting a workout on. Quickly go through the difference between cash games and GPPs. For a lot of new DFS players, this is something they may not know. Now, if you're an old wily vet of the DFS game, you've definitely conquered the difference between these two by now. But there's two different ways you can approach your DFS game. Some people like to play cash game heavy. They like to consistently win more often. It's not quite as sexy or as interesting because you're not going to get a big score by playing cash games. GPPs are significantly more entertaining if you can get towards the top of them. They come with a greater risk, though. It's harder to be profitable on GPPs unless you're really, really good at this. So there is a difference between the two games. I can't answer you which one is better for you. That's really going to be a personal perspective thing on what you are looking to get out of DFS. If you just want to have some fun, keep your bankroll kind of about the same, and just play this thing on a nightly basis without losing a lot of money, you're probably going to be more of a cash game player. If you can handle the swings, but you really want that big score, you're probably going to be more interested in playing GPPs. So people usually ask me what I play. I play a lot of cash games for NBA and NFL. I feel I can win those at a clip of over 50%. That creates a long-term profitability for me. NFL cash game record, I mean, I kind of started tracking it since week 6 of last year, and I think there's 5 losses for me and then 20-some wins. So it's been a profitable thing for me in that run. NBA, same thing. Tend to win more often. I don't like baseball cash games, though. I've never really enjoyed them. In baseballs, I prefer GPPs. But we're each his own. Everybody's going to have a little bit differently. Now, when you're playing cash games, what I like to do to pick mine out is, first off, I usually prefer single entry double ups. The larger, the better. So this one, for example, the NBA single entry $25 double up, I play in this one pretty much every single day. This is one of the cash games I'm going to enter. I personally prefer more entries as opposed to less entries. I know some people, they like the 23-person double ups. It's a personal preference thing. For me, I think you get a pure representation of what actual ownership is when you get more entries. I think about it this way. When I was a kid, my parents owned a market research firm, so they had to teach me about stuff like that. And really, the simplest way to look at it is more people is better data. So that's why I prefer the larger number of entries. Some people like the lower numbers because sometimes you can get lucky and you just got a bad group of people who had bad lineups that night and you can get to the top without playing much. That is completely up to you. I'm big on the double ups, but you also got your 50-50s. The difference between double ups and 50-50s is not major. But it is enough. And with double ups, you legitimately double your money, but only the top certain number of positions. 600 of 1379 finish in the money. So it's not quite the top 50%. You make up for DraftKings right there. And 50-50s, on the other hand, find any of those bad boys over here. Triggers. Okay, so on a 50-50, top half wins, but you only get $1.80 back if you were to bet that dollar, for example. So it's a little bit different, not completely dissimilar. The other options for people are going to be head-to-head. I personally don't play head-to-head ever, but I know some people who like it. They enjoy the idea of playing head-to-head because you're playing against one other person. You know their lineup. You know your lineup. You know exactly who you're rooting for. My business partner, Matt, played head-to-heads for a long time because he enjoyed that part. He liked to look at the other team's lineup and his lineup, knew exactly who he was rooting for and against, and it made who you were cheering on a little bit easier. Okay, that's great. It's not for everybody, but we're all going to have different personal presence on what we play. Now, GPPs, on the other hand, you're going to get a wide variety of them. Let's switch over to Classic real quick. I'll pick them. So GPPs can range from large multi-entry. You can see right here, this classic $8 one, 51,000 plus entries. You can see with GPPs, it tiers really heavy to the top couple of spots. So your goal in these is you really, really have to beat almost everybody in order for them to be long-term profitability. You've got to hit some big scores. So if you were to say win this 50K one night, but you're max entering it every single night, it makes it you're going to have to get one of those big scores in order for it to be profitable. Because if you are just hanging around down here and not even doubling your money on a regular basis, it's difficult for it to be long-term profitable. That being said, if you've ever won a GPP, there aren't a lot of better feelings. It is intense. Your palms will be sweaty, knees weak, arms are ready, whatever else Eminem says in that song. It is thrilling. I've been skydiving. I've been bungee jumping. All those things are fun. I can tell you that the end of a GPP where you're really close to the top might be just as intense. Now, what kind of GPPs do you like? Again, it's hard for me to answer that question for other people. I don't know your bankroll. I don't know what you're looking for. It's going to be a little bit different for everybody, and you just got to figure out what's right for you. For me, I do not like the large entries because it's just too difficult to beat 51,000 people. I like smaller single entry GPPs is the way to go. The one thing I can say I like about multi-entry is if I'm playing multi-entry, it's just easier on me setting lineups all in the same spot, and then they're all in the same contest. So if they do hit, they have the equal chance of giving it. But I do not like GPPs where it goes 50,000 to the first one, and then second place only gets 40% of that, which means it tiers really heavy to the first place guy. Which again, long term, it's very difficult to profit something like that. Now, I enter my cash lineup into a couple GPPs every night. And what I will normally do is once I have it established, I will go through and I will enter the $1 single entry, the $12 single entry. I'll take on this $2 single entry, the $5 single entry, depending on how aggressive I'm being. But I like the smaller they get, single entry, and then I maybe won't just enter one. Maybe I'll enter 5 or 6 of them. But we're all going to play a little bit differently. Figuring out what's best for you is a big part of DFS, and we're all going to have different approaches and different goals. Matt and I both field questions about, all the time, what contest should I enter? It's not a magic contest thing. Ultimately, they all have their ups and their downs. Find your personal favorites that you like. Stick with those. Try them out. Figure out how you can get better at them, and keep trying to up your game. I like single entry. I know other people like to multi-entry because they like mass entries. Again, we're all going to play a little bit differently, so it's very difficult for me to tell you what you should like. There is a personal preference involved in what it is, and I can't say it enough. There are no magic contests. There aren't these contests where 312 is going to win you quadruple your money, but lose in different contests. Any given day, some will have ups and some will have downs. But overall, it's not completely dissimilar. I just massively prefer the single entries myself. So that's cash games versus GPP. Just think of cash games as anything where you basically double your money if you just really want to simplify it. GPPs are anything where it tiers heavy to the top 20%, and even more specifically the top 1 or 0.1%. It's going to ride a little bit more of a wave, but you guys, I can't say it enough. And for a lot of you out there who have had some big results before, there aren't a lot of things more thrilling than when you are kind of in that top precipice of a GPP, and it's like any one point can make such a big difference. A couple of years ago, when I used to play like those 50,000 entry ones, and my wife was out of town, and I was watching. This was when Rajon Rondo was still on the Kings, and like he came down and hit a late three. And if you guys know Rondo, he doesn't hit a lot of threes, and like that 3.5 points took like a $3 buy-in from 60 to like 500, and it can be so thrilling when stuff like that happens. It's so exciting. Last night I played the late contest, which was only 2 games. And on the flip side of it, I entered a GPP that was like 300 people. When I popped up in my contest winnings with like 4 minutes to go in the game, I was in second place, making about, if I remember, I think it was 30 times my money. And then within a couple of shots, I was all the way down to making like 3 times my money. So it's fun. It's exciting. It will give you gray hair and cause a heart attack. But man, they're really fun and exciting if that's what you're looking for. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. If you want more videos, press subscribe to this channel. We're on here pretty much every day talking DFS. And if you want to be a member of the 5-Pack, we'd love to have you. Go down to the website. We got different types of memberships, monthly, yearly, whatever's better for you. Either way, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great day.